I got a comment on one of my prior videos, which I will link in the description, regarding this pin being the symbol for a Bulova Accutron watch. So I thought I would take a moment to make a short little video about finding another type of gold, which is gold watches. I'm not going to go too deeply into this, and I'm also going to just kind of introduce what I have for watches. And the reason for that is that I have found some watches that are gold. That prompted me to grab them because they were gold and they were a good price for the gold. And then I kind of fell in love with the watches, and then I kind of got scared because, I'll be honest, I like the watches too much, and I'm not a man who can afford to like watches that much. So in the case of this pin, I'll show you its companion piece. Now, granted, I got this pin off of eBay, and the watch, which we'll look at here in a second, came to me from a local thrift shop. Okay, I'll set this aside real quick. We'll set aside this apparently very cool Bulova pin. Oh, there's some watches. So I'm guessing there's some watch people out there, being as this is YouTube land. If you have an interest in these watches, please let me know. I can talk about what I've found. I will say for you gold bugs out there that this is gold, this is gold, this is gold. This one, which we'll be talking about in a moment, is gold. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, no, not that one. What is this one? That one's not gold. That's gold fill, I think. I just thought it was cool. This little, what is this? Oh, yeah. This is gold. Let me see if I can zoom in on this one. I believe that is our symbol. No, this is an Omega. That's not a Bulova. Okay. Where are we? Let's zoom out a touch. Yeah, here we are. Okay. This is what we're going to talk about right now. And then any watch people that are interested, we can talk about these other watches, and I'll try to make some videos on them. But keep in mind, I don't know a whole lot about watches. I frankly have kind of fallen in love with watches to a certain degree because of Marshall over at Wristwatch Revival. Unfortunately, the only watchmaker within a couple hundred miles of me died a couple years back. So there's literally no one else to fix my watches for me. So I am in I'm in the market for a very good watchmaker at some point, because one of these in particular I would like to wear. So back to the video. Let's see if this comment was correct. Oh, would you look at that? Right there above the 6. Is that? Sure enough. Now, the Accutron is a pretty neat watch. This is actually the first electric watch, as I understand it. Now, keep in mind, I am, at best, a complete neophyte when it comes to watches. But my understanding is this is the first, at least commercially available electric watch, and it predates the quartz movements. And the quartz movements are very accurate, and there's a reason they're basically the standard. But they didn't have that yet. So timing on this actually uses a tiny little tuning fork, which, as I understand it from my reading, that's what this is. This is actually a symbol to denote that there's a tuning fork in there, which is pretty cool. And actually now I understand, as I say this, why a watch guy would want this little gold lapel pin. Now, this watch sadly doesn't have a strap, and doesn't have a good strap. I'm not sure how I feel about the looks of the watch. I do feel very good about what I paid for it, because it has, if we look close here, well, look, we have our, I don't know if we can show this. We have a bit of an engraving. And then if you see at the bottom there, it says something, 14 karat gold case. And this watch had been sitting in a thrift shop for so long that when I finally started paying attention to such things, due to, again, Marshall over at Wristwatch Revival, and said, hey, can I look at that watch that's been sitting in there forever? I pulled it out and I saw, hey, it's got a $100 price tag on it. And at that point, I knew enough to know that that's a lot of 14 karat gold for $100. So I said, hey, I'll buy this one. And the lady in the thrift shop's like, oh, that's been there for so long, it's half price. So it was $50. Now I'm at a bit of a loss of what to do with it, because I really like it. However, it is gold, so there's a lot of value in the gold. However, to be very annoying and to someone who wants to just kind of know how much money they have worth of gold, I don't know how much gold is actually in the thing. I can't find a total online for how much 14 karat gold is in this case. I can get kind of a weight, but then I still have the crystal to contend with. And I can get a weight on the movement, so I can subtract that from the overall weight. But ultimately, I just don't know. If I had a good watchmaker in the Valley, I would service it, put a strap on it, and use it. Unfortunately, I don't have a good watchmaker in the Valley, and I don't actually know who to trust to send it to. So as an introduction to my quote-unquote watch collecting, I feel like this is going to have to suffice. I would like to do more watch videos, but I gotta tell you, the watch people out there are going to have to come to my aid in some of this, because watches, while fascinating and I love them, are way outside of my bailiwick. I will note that most of my original watches here, which I'll pull over again, since this is going to be a little bit of a watch video, I purchased because they were gold. Like, you know, this little Rolex here on a 14 karat gold chain cost me a whopping $7. Well, less than that. I bought a pile of gold and silver plus this Rolex for $7. So I don't really I don't know, how do you say that was $7? We'll just say $7. But since then, I've actually purchased some watches that are just watches that I really like. For example, this right here is not solid gold. This is a, what do they call it? Longines. Please correct my pronunciation. Mystery dial. It's so cool because, like, the dial in the middle goes. I don't know if I can wind it. I'm not gonna do that right now. But you can see the hour hand actually goes around on that wheel. And the reason I loved it so very much is this beautiful, beautiful dial, which is just so cool. So cool. Yeah, I couldn't leave the thrift shop without that one. And then I also purchased this Stowa, I believe it's a German one, because it was $8 and I really like the look of it. But again, I need someone to service it. I wore this one around. This is actually, of all of them, the one that actually runs the best. But even still, I feel like it's probably wrong to wear these until I actually have someone open them up and properly clean and lubricate them, which isn't something that I feel confident to do myself quite yet. And then, as you've probably been noticing, this is definitely my favorite right here, this Omega, but it needs a new crown and a servicing. But I really like this one, maybe the best of all of them that I have so far. So if anyone has a recommendation for an excellent watchmaker, if anyone knows how you get Marshall to service one of your watches and fix it, if anyone is interested in more watches, please leave a comment. I love these things. I'm not entirely sure where to go with them. I will continue to buy ones that are gold, that are cheap, which is like, you know, this Waltham right here is a gold watch, and it was $5 at a garage sale, which is actually, I think this is actually my first gold watch. So my watch buying started as a gold buying situation. And then it turned into I think I paid $300 for this Omega because I loved it. And I think I paid, what, $200 for this one because, again, I loved it. And I realized very quickly if I continue to buy watches because I love them, I'm not going to have any money to buy anything else. So this video should suffice for its purpose, I think, which was to talk briefly about the Accutron and what this pin turned out to be. It turned out to be a stylized tuning fork, of which there's a real tuning fork in here for the action. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, again, this is way outside of what I really do understand. So if I got any information wrong, please correct me. If you want me to go into these watches, I can tell you what I know about them. I would love for the watch community to be able to school me on some of these things because, again, I'm definitely in a place where I love them, but I don't necessarily know what is going on with them, and I don't necessarily know how to get them fixed so I can wear them, because there isn't a watch in here that I don't actually desire to wear around. I've been wearing what is it? I'll have to find the other one. I think it's upstairs right now. I took it off and then one of my kids ran off with it. But I've been wearing a stainless dive watch that's a Zodiac that I found for cheap. And I've really liked wearing the watch, but I would prefer to wear one of these watches as a daily watch. So I wish my my local watchmaker hadn't passed on, but that's where we are. Anyways, have yourself a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this video.